I'm a good ventriloquist at farting. I would fart and you would not be able to know.
Blame it on the dog.
I mean, you wouldn't see my lips move anyway.
We are here with Farrell of Jane's Addiction, Porno for Pirates, Satellite Party, the founder of Lollapalooza Festival, and now back with a solo album, Kind Heaven, and a live experience, the Kind Heaven Orchestra. So Perry, welcome.
Thank you.
I think we should start off by talking about the album and the live shows. So this is your main concern at the moment is Kind Heaven Orchestra. It's not a traditional live experience. What can you tell me about it?
Right. Well, I'm shooting for immersive entertainment.
Yeah.
So
that instantly makes people think of things jumping out at them in the dark, I think, when you say immersive.
Well, think about it immediately. You would think that you are immersed and then things are surrounding you. That's more like it.
Right, okay.
So in this case, we came to London to perform at the Box in residency. So that means that we're going to have a chance to set up shop, if you will, and repeat the performance, but we'll have a chance to do some more extraordinary ways of entertaining you, like you'll be surrounded by dancers and specialty acts, and we have, in addition to a rock band set up, we have digital producers working with us, as well as orchestral artists, a cellist and a violinist. So we're going to immerse you with contemporary entertainment.
And is interaction part of this? If people feel like joining the dancers, can they?
Yeah. Well, you can certainly join by dancing. So that's easy.
License for dancing, that's fine. Okay,
yes,
right,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
do, yes. So to fast forward this time next year when the doors will open in Las Vegas, Nevada, we have a building that we are constructing. It is an immersive entertainment complex.
Wow. So it was like, what, kind of like Perryland, this is your...
A little bit like that, yes. And it's called Kind Heaven. It's right across the street from Caesar's Palace. Like you cross the street and there's us, the Kind Heaven building. And you go in that building, again, it's immersive entertainment. So the walls will be filled with speakers, so you'll be surrounded with sound. The record that that I'm promoting and that you're asking me about was mixed in stereo, and it was mixed in surround sound Atmos 7.2, which is software that gives the speakers the ability to take, it listens to the information coming from a computer, where each sound is going to go to every individual speaker. So as an example, if I sang something, I had a delay on my voice, I could spin that delay to go around the room.
Right, okay. So you could throw in a sort of ventriloquism section as well, as soon as you're in Las Vegas. Using the same technology.
I could, but I'm not a good ventriloquist. But I am very good at doing live looping and delays.
So Perry Farrell in Vegas, did you ever expect that would happen?
Wait a minute, let me take that back. How am I doing?
I was saying you could cheat and use this technology to do it digitally. It's like, this is, no point in training.
I'm a good ventriloquist at farting. I would fart and you would not be able to know.
Blame it on the dog.
I mean, you wouldn't see my lips move anyway.
Did you ever expect that you would end up in Vegas? This is something that Celine Dion or Mariah Carey or Elvis Presley do. Did you think that
Frank Sinatra, man?
Yeah, but sure. Did you ever expect that someone who was forged in the alternative scene of the 90s, a real kind of outsider, would end up doing this kind of thing in the kind of the entertainment capital of the USA?
Yeah, absolutely not. That would be the last place that I thought I would be welcome. However, now under the circumstances, I think that I'm the perfect candidate to go in there and make Las Vegas like we're going to be the new Rat Pack.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds quite arty as well for a Vegas thing. You know, it's you don't go to Vegas for a kind of cutting edge experience always.
Well, here's what's going on. As we all know, Vegas was famous for gambling. I wanted to go in there first and foremost because I wanted to have gambling at Kind Heaven.
Wow! So it was that. So you thought, where is it legal?
Right.
Right.
Where is it close by that I can go there and check it out? And would they be open for new, interesting forms of gambling? Like I have ideas for gambling that involve, video gaming gambling and things like that. And also I wanted to have dice where you can like throw dice against the wall. Right. You know what I mean? Not on a table. That's kind of
schoolyard style.
Yeah, schoolyard
right.
stuff.
Okay.
So I went to them, but they wouldn't let me do it. But I still think why not? Anyway, there was that, and also the idea of we're working off of a mythology that's based on a prophecy. The prophecy of Isaiah, which is the returning Messiah.
Okay.
So
is that you? Am I in the company of?
No. I'm an artist doing a piece.
Right.
Doing a project on the time when the Messiah returns. So I started to have a lot of fun in my mind just thinking about if the Messiah returned now, he'd probably be bugged by the CIA and the FBI would be following him, and Trump would probably hate him, and Boris Johnson would try to have him murdered,
So you have a song, Pirate Punk Politician, which is about kind of the rise of these populist, let's call them arseholes.
Yes.
You in America have Trump. We just managed to get as our Prime Minister the British answer to Trump.
I know.
What kind of you've lived with this a bit. You're a wise man. What advice would you give to right-thinking Brits like me who are thinking, oh God, no?
Oh well, this is what I would say.
Is there hope?
Definitely, without a doubt. Here's what's going on. We're going to get to this point in time where we will be crossing the messianic threshold, and the only way to get there is for people to, we must have peace. And so what are the roads to peace? What are the roads to getting us to that place of peace on earth? Well, you will have, before we get there, these obstacles like Boris Johnson. He is an obstacle.
A necessary obstacle, you think? Or?
I mean, I wish it weren't so, but yeah, that's just the way it is.
So we're at the bottom of the bell curve, and we're going to get past this, and we're going to get through this. But what we can't do is we can't allow these. You've called them assholes. This is your description. Call it what they are.
We can't allow these men, these older men that are, their ways of thinking, they're outdated ways of thinking. They're for the most part, they're older people. And that's why, they can't even see that they're racist. They don't understand. You are a racist. We're never going to go back. Nothing's going to be great again by going back. You can't go back. We know this. So all the rest of us, have to make sure that they don't get to do what they want. We need to check them and kindly move them off to the side where they can perish, in their own time on their own property. In the meantime, we that really we're the future. We have to make sure that our voices are heard, we are organized, and that we stay on the path towards peace. And the way to do it is through loving kindness. Yes, exactly.
Great.
Yes.
Well, you had an encounter with another British politician, a big name, Tony Blair. You talked to in 2007, I believe, about climate change. So two questions there. One, what did you make of Blair? And two, it's now 12 years after that. It's 40 degrees upstairs.
Yeah.
Climate change is only really just coming back on the agenda with Extinction Rebellion. How has it taken this? How has it taken this long for people to listen?
Because we're all busy, so we do what we can, right? But then you have these people. I tell you, there's the old guard.
Right. Yeah.
They want to make money, and they don't care. They're going to be dead in 5-10 years, right? And leaving this world, which is really spinning fast, but it's not stopping. And the way it's spinning is like it's going off course. It's spinning oddly, in crazy directions, and it's up to us. Watchtower, we have to be like the watchtower, the guard of this place. We're inheriting the earth, and it's the meek that will inherit the earth. These old guys, of course, they want to make as much money as they can for their family, and they don't really give a damn. And we have to make everybody very, very aware of that fact.
Do you
That's
feel
what they're up for. We're up for something else.
Do you feel hopeful with people like Greta Thunberg in the world, the teenage Swedish girl who's kind of started the climate change protest and speaks out about it? The fact that there are teenagers now who are going,
yes,
hey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, children are going to start to prophecy.
And what did you make of Tony Blair? Did he listen? Do you think? Did it get through?
It was a little disappointing. So I went there to try to put together an organization that would, we could spread information and education about climate change, do something about it, maybe create some laws protecting it. And it ended up that the organization that I wanted to pursue climate change ended up putting together a yacht race. Right. So that it didn't work out, but we're not defeated. We're not moving on.
Credit to you for trying these things through the years as well. I mean, it's difficult to get, if you can get an audience with the Prime Minister of a country, it's worth doing, isn't it? So, yeah.
For sure. And you know what? I felt him to be a nice man. At least he knows how to comb his hair, for crying out loud. This Boris guy combs his hair like a little kid. Like he combs bangs.
All part of the mask.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. How do you trust a man who combs his hair like a 5-year-old?
Quite. On Kind Heaven, you co-produced it with Tony Visconti.
Yes.
A man, I presume that you kind of grew up listening to the records he produced.
Of course.
Yeah, Bowie in particular.
Yes.
Did you kind of geek out asking loads of stuff about Bowie all the time?
I tried not to.
Right. I think he quite likes it, really, doesn't he?
Well, of course, wouldn't you? I tried to avoid bringing him to that moment because I felt like if I were to do that, he would start to lose respect for me.
Right.
And I needed his respect.
Yeah.
Even though I really wanted to do that. Quite often I would have this inclination to say like, when you, David, But I thought, you know what? Let's keep our minds on the present because we really need to break ground. We really need to do something forward-thinking that hasn't been done before. So I didn't want to rewind his mind to that moment because honestly, I'm not trying to emulate. I greatly admire. I mean, David Bowie, I hold up higher than anybody.
Did you ever meet him?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what was that like?
I had a tragic relationship with David Bowie. I kept on screwing up as a young man. I would do stupid things like one time I left my cell phone in a cab. And
didn't you just do that earlier?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And and so the cab driver got a hold of it and started texting him, "Yo, David, what's up?" in my name. And so he would be like, "Perry, what are you doing?" He would like constantly text him to try to get home. So
that's like the ultimate thing when you leave your Facebook open.
He wasn't mad at me, but he was annoyed by me.
Right.
So I was like this young guy. Then another time, somebody had approached me to do a bit of charity work to try to stop DuPont, I think it was, from polluting the waters. Might have been up around North America. So I thought, like, I do want to help this person. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna get David Bowie to help me too. So I forwarded the text to David and it had, maybe a chain of maybe 200 people that's saying, yeah, I will help you and this and that. And I didn't understand about blind CCing in those days. Right. So I effectively gave like 200 people access to David's private email. Okay, so again, he texts me back and says, "Perry, what are you doing?" And and all that happened. And so finally, about 2 years ago, I was asked to do a tribute for David and it was going to be, Tony Visconti was going to be the musical director, and I jumped at the chance, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to make up with David, and he's going to, he's going to know me to be a sophisticated young man, right? And he passed away.
Right.
So I never got a chance.
You'll always be the one who gave out his phone number.
Yes.
Well,
but I did meet Tony at that time.
Yeah.
And that's how I made the connection with Tony Visconti. But
so things work in mysterious ways, don't they? But
right. I always say that people, I never use the term dead, because I do know that the afterlife, people are very much conscious. So maybe I'll have a chance to catch up with him someday.
Maybe he'll watch this
and
video.
thank him for being such an amazing artist that I really studied and aspire to be.
I had read this thing. So you believe you kind of you believe in ghosts, and I believe you sort of talk to you.
I have more than believe in ghosts.
Talk to your mother via.
I have spoken to my mother, and this is 1994.
Yeah.
I wish I could do it all the time, but it was only one evening that I spoke to my mother. My mother was using a young lady that I was sleeping with as a medium. So the young lady sat up and started to speak to me, but she doesn't remember it. But my mother left me with something. If you have any doubts in your head, like, oh, okay, he's a little crazy, but he's kind of endearing, but he's a little crazy. So the last thing my mother said to me was, call your sister tomorrow and ask her to give you my mahjong set. And she said, the name of the woman is waking up and I have to go. So I called my sister the next day, and my sister said, oh my God, that's so weird. Auntie just gave me Mommy's mahjong set in the mail.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I asked her for the set, and she wouldn't give it to me. This went on this was 1994 when I first asked for it. I finally got the mahjong set this past Hanukkah. So I actually flew my sister out with the mahjong set.
So you could use this for gambling in kind heaven.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Has this ever happened with any other people, any sort of contemporaries or people that you
mean speaking to them?
Yeah. No.
I wish. That's what I'm saying. I wish I could do it again. I wish it would happen again, but it hasn't. But I have had experiences where I was in my sleeping state, and people were almost like mentoring or tutoring me, and they told me things. Has that ever happened to you?
I don't think so, no. No, I don't know. What kind of things?
Okay, one thing they said the name Yehuda Maccabee. I didn't know who Yehuda Maccabee was, so of course I started to do research. And then the other thing they told me was...
From Jewish, this is from kind of...
Well, yes, Yehuda Maccabee was from the Hasmonean dynasty, I believe.
Wow.
So it was 250 years before Christ.
Okay.
And then the other thing they said was my father's name is Gabriel.
I was going to get you to talk about Lollapalooza now, but I feel like I took us down a really deep route there to then start talking about music festivals. But
yeah, no, it's fine. It's all an afternoon's conversation, right? With tea. Really, it really
so
is.
Lollapalooza. For Brits watching this who don't know the significance of Lollapalooza, at the time in America, the music festival thing the festival scene wasn't as established in America as it probably was over here, where you had Reading Festival and things. You became this kind of Michael Eavis character it started a kind of a movement that it toured around the country, then it's been in permanent positions. Where did this come from? Where did this motivation come from to do this?
Well, all right. My motivation is we have some very, I think, ugly, when I say ugly, spiritually ugly human beings that are driving our policies, the global policies. And they get to speak, they get to stand before Congress or Parliament and declare and espout their ideas. I feel that the art community and the music community have so many wonderful things to say, so many wonderful reflections about the world. And I love the idea that they have their platform, and they have we have ours. Ours is festivals. Ours is social and digital media. You know what we're doing right now, and so I feel that I don't want to say I want to drown them out. I kind of do. I kind of more like I want to drown them, but drowning them out will do.
I always think the best festivals are the ones that come from a place of a kind of a noble pursuit like that. You know, want to kind of put forward ideas and share experiences.
Yeah.
There's been a lot that recently.
The young people, I feel like you look at nighttime talk shows, right? Who do they have on there? They might have a politician every once in a while. Then they'll have an actor, and that's fine. I mean, we love Keanu Reeves. There's some good actors out there, but there's some actors that I would rather honestly listen to an artist or a musician.
Sure.
Because usually you'll find that they're such lovely people, and they're so intelligent, but they're also so creative. So why shouldn't we have a chance to get our hands dirty and make this world a beautiful place, you know? Like Louis Armstrong says, what a wonderful world, right?
Absolutely. We've seen recently some festivals that kind of haven't approached it from that. You know, Fire Festival springs to mind, and it's gone horribly wrong. Woodstock 50 just seems to be in complete turmoil. This was probably the originator of this idea of peace, love, and harmony. And why can they not get off the ground? And what advice would you give them for actually doing it? Bearing in mind you've now had decades of success with Lollapalooza.
All right. Well, so now I've been at it for decades. So really, I'm going to key into what that word. Well, you didn't say the word, but I think it's patience. So if you really have good intent, you also need to gain patience because things don't happen overnight. I've been working on Kind Heaven now for 7 years.
Wow, right.
So by the 8th year, it's going to be opened up.
The long game.
And you have to play the long game. And I'll even tell you more about the trajectory or the arc of my life personally. So now I just turned 60, and I'm looking that by the time I'm 65, Kind Heaven will be open, and I will have now bring these amazing artists and chefs and musicians and couture designers all working together, and things will really be rolling by then. That's at 65. Then at 70, I don't know if I'll be able to perform at that level anymore. So I'm kind of constantly gearing my life now for the future. And that's kind of how I live my life.
You nurtured this generation of bands. I was reading, there was some kind of confusion about, because Nirvana never played Lollapalooza.
They were going to.
They were going to. This is it.
But again,
right?
yeah, he passed away.
He passed away, right? Okay. So yeah, so apparently there was some sort of story about whether he said that he turned down X amount of $1 million to do it and kind of regretted it, but I don't know.
Well, originally he didn't want to do it because he was just being a bit of a punk, but we were friends, and I didn't take it personally. You know what I mean? It's his career. He can do what he wants. But it was funny because then he said, I'm going to start my own festival and I'm calling it Lollapalooza. But he never got to do that. But I was curious to see what it would turn out.
It's funny because that suffix palooza has become kind of a go-to thing for people. Where did you get it from in the first place? So.
Well, back in the old days, there was dictionaries. There were these paper.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Binded dictionaries that you can take and reference, go through the pages. And back in those days, as a young poet, I was always looking for not just rhymes, but interesting words to use. So I was doing what I normally do on a Tuesday. I was on the carpet, thumbing through the dictionary, just gaining words and vocabulary. And I ran across Lollapalooza, something or someone, and or wonderful, or great. And then the second description was a giant swirling lollipop.
Wow, right.
So I used the analogy of swirling in the different styles of music, the different colors of races, to make this beautiful,
That's interesting. And now that it's kind of become part of the lexicon, hasn't it? Something Palooza is a big festival, a big gathering. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you just talk about bringing different people together in different genres. I noticed this year's lineup. So it's Lollapalooza next week in Chicago, I believe.
Yes.
This year's lineup is very kind of diverse. You've got headliners Childish Gambino, Ariana Grande, The Strokes, 21 Pilots. Yeah. Do you still have a big input in that? And are you pushing for more of a gender balanced and kind of, people of colour and in the headline slots? It's a very big talking point over here at the moment,
It is?
Yeah, about like trying to achieve a gender balanced festival lineup, because you kind of have to, you create something and then that kind of filters down, doesn't it? I think has that always been a concern of yours?
Well, it's not very hard for me to be
inclusive.
Inclusive, because I love all races. In fact, like, I don't just say that like, oh, he loves all races. No, I love all races. Like, I love seeing different sizes, shapes, colors, dances, music. I think that's what truly makes the world go round. I swear to you, I think that it's having that difference and looking at and studying the other that causes you to kind of go forward, seeing what they're up to, and then they're up looking at you. And I get no greater joy than being at Lollapalooza. As an example, a few years ago, I had the greatest moment because Future was performing. And Future is like what they were calling mumble rap. So it's like the rap has gotten so severe and gone into the hood, so that these cats aren't even like talking to white people anymore. They're like just talking to each other, and white people are listening in. They're like, they called it mumble rap. They're not mumbling. They're just talking to each other the way they do in their neighborhoods. So, and it's badass. To me, it was like modern James Brown. But anyway, so I was out by the soundboard, and I saw all these brothers and these sisters, and they were dancing next to these, really white kids from middle America, and they were all just grooving. And I just thought, that was a moment in my heart that I just will never forget.
Because that's something you started. It's nice to see years down the line.
Yeah.
You just launched in Lollapalooza, Sweden.
Yes.
You've never done one over here in the UK. Why not?
Well,
crowded marketplace or too much?
Yeah, there's two overriding reasons. One, the first reason was I didn't want to come here until I had something that would be unique, that I felt I can contribute to your culture.
That's very considerate of you.
Well, it's also smart as a businessman, because I'm now going to try to crowd in on a what you would call a bloody water. In other words, like if there had been sharks in the water devouring, the marketplace, I don't want to just come in here unless I had something unique. So I'm very, very close to having something extremely unique. And in the next two or 3 years, I will give it a go.
Over here?
Yeah, I want to.
Brilliant. So this is part of your 10-year plan that you didn't reveal earlier on, you see?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. The Swedish one, which was its first year, is that you played with Dave Grohl, is that right? That one? You got, or have I got the places mixed up?
I did, yeah. I jumped up there. Dave invited me, of course. I didn't just jump up there. Dave invited, and Taylor Hawkins, we're brothers.
Yeah.
And so we do that all the time.
Do you love doing that? I mean, it seems like you're obviously a very friendly person. Do you kind of, is that one of the joys, kind of jumping up there with someone you've known for years?
But I can be tough.
Okay. You mentioned earlier you turned 60 recently.
Yeah. When I shut down, when I've had enough, man. Oh boy. I'm
gonna wrap this up just in case. I don't want to.
I'm a badass. I was an undefeated state champion wrestler.
Oh wow! Okay.
When I was 13 years old.
We don't do that type of wrestling over here in the UK. But we've seen it on the films. It looks bizarre.
It was 110 pounds. Nobody could take me.
Did you have the whole vest and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to watch what I say. You mentioned you turned 60 lately. You don't look it.
Thank you.
I read that you played beer pong with Post Malone on your 60th birthday. Is that
did.
correct? Right, okay, yeah. Who won?
See, he didn't know who he was messing with.
Who won?
I was on the JV basketball team. He didn't know that. I won, but then I quickly left before the game was over because I had to go and meet other people.
Okay, yeah.
Well, the game goes to like 18. I couldn't sit around there trying to make a ping pong ball go in a glass 18 times.
And just to finish off, I mean, you've got to ask these things. Is there going to be a Jane's Addiction kind of reunion thing anytime?
Oh, God.
Is that a big question? Should I not have asked that? Is this when I get wrestled?
No, they're my brothers. They're my brothers. Yeah, so what my intention is, when we come into Kind Heaven in 2020, I'm going to look to record more music, and I'm hoping that my brothers can join me.
Wow, brilliant.
And so it'll be Kind Heaven Orchestra with Jane's Addiction.
Amazing.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you told them this yet?
I have.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I haven't signed any contracts.
Okay.
I've just told them this is what I want to do, guys.
As long as it doesn't stop Dave.
And I think I shouldn't probably even be public about it, but I'm hoping there'll be peer pressure and public pressure
They can't get out of
on
it
them
now.
to not get out of it.
I was going to say, so long as it doesn't interrupt Dave's Ink Master schedule.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of that show.
And that is really the obstacle. The hurdle that I have to get over is Ink Master.
Would you let Dave pick some ink for you, being how he is the world expert on tattoos?
I would let him do almost anything to me if he would just come back.
There we go. He can't get out of it now, as he said. Well, Perry, it's been an absolute joy talking to you. Thank you so much for spending the time. And Kind Heaven sounds like a mind-blowing thing. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.